Ocho Uncensored, and today I got a pretty good story for you. And it's a story that we kind of see a lot, but with a twist that I had not experienced up to this point. As I told you guys, I work in the school system, and one day it was around lunchtime, and I was walking through the cafeteria, and this young man said, "Hey, Mr. O, Mr. O, Mr. O." They say Mr. O because they can't say my last name, right? So, whatever, right? I'm like, "Hey, what's going on, buddy?" And I know this guy. So, this young man says, "Mr. O, I need peanut butter." And me being a little bit of a smart ass, I was like, "Well, buddy, I ain't got none. What you want me to do?" He lifts up 2 pieces of white bread and says, "Mr. O, I need peanut butter." And I'm like, so now I'm starting to get a little curious. And so I walk over to his lunchbox and I said, "Well, what else you got, buddy?" So I opened it up and there was nothing else but just a fucking juice box. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 2 pieces of white bread with nothing on these pieces of bread and a juice box. How shitty of a lunch is that, right? So I'm like a little irritated, right, at this situation for this young man because I see it a lot where kids just don't have enough, right? So I say, okay, and they have these paraeducators that are there to assist the teachers with the students, right? And she comes up to me, and I love her, and she was like, "Hey, don't worry about it, Mr. O. We'll find them some food. We'll give them some extra carrots or some fruit, something like that." And I'm like, what is a lunch? $2, $3? I was like, I got it, right? So I get up, and I say, "Come on, man." And I take him in the lunch line, right? So we're going through the lunch line. This boy is, I'm talking packing everything. You know that this boy needs food because he's even putting shit like carrots on his plate, okay? Cucumbers. So we get to the end of the line and I go to pay for it, right? And I say, "Hey, I just want to pay for this young man's lunch." The lunch lady rings it up and she goes to hit the enter button and says, I don't know exactly word for word, but it basically said that no one can buy this student a lunch. It cannot be purchased. And I'm like, what in the world? So right about that time, the kid's teacher comes and says, "Mr. O, you can't do that." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Can't do what?" She was like, "He can't have a lunch." And I'm like, "What do you mean he can't have a lunch?" "Well, no, he can't. It's a thing between the parents and the school. And the last time we did it, the parents came down here and flipped out." And I was like, "Are you serious right now?" And a lot of this was in my head, right? In my head, I was like, how crazy could you possibly be? I may or may not have written a note stating that he could have a lunch and may or may not have continued to buy that lunch. You know that lunch was $3.50? What happened to $2 lunches, man? What the hell's going on, school system? What the fuck over? Anyway, back to this kid. But I'm gonna tell you why this kid touched me so much. One, this isn't the first time I've had to help him. About a month and a half ago, I had to do the same thing and buy him a lunch because he didn't have anything, right? But when I was a young man, my mom was a drug addict. And she allowed our home to become a place where other drug dealers could sell their drugs out of, right? So fast forward, when my house got raided a few years later, my grandparents came back and said, "Hey, did you get the food that we gave you? Or we sent you and dropped off for you?" And I said, "Food? What food?" They had dropped off bags of groceries almost on a weekly basis to my home. But the drug dealers and whoever they were with at the time would take the food or fix the food and eat it before I ever got home. So I became severely anemic, literally eating crackers and mixing condiments together to get a different taste. And so I remember what it's like to be hungry. I remember what it's like to feel like you have to fend for yourself. Like I gotta have like a little reserve for me, because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get a square meal. I mean, and this young man was skinny, and when I mean big head, skinny body, right? Not correct, okay? And it breaks my heart to see that this young man, one, isn't getting the food that he should be getting on a daily basis, but two, that the parents of this young man refuse to allow people like me or anyone else that has a decent heart to help the young man. It's wrong on every level. It was despicable to me. I'd never seen that before, where I can't even buy this dude a lunch, right? Thank God for me not giving a fuck. And that's how I feel. And maybe I'm wrong. I would love to hear you guys' comments, your opinions on this. Was I wrong? Did I overstep my boundaries as just a worker at the school? Or was I in the right because this boy needed food? And before you flip out in the comments like, oh, there might have been a reason. No, I know the background. They just didn't want him to fucking eat, all right? Let me just be 100,000% with you guys, okay? He didn't have any fucking food restrictions, nothing like that. At best, they're just very fucking arrogant and don't want help, okay? At best. And that's me being very generous, okay? Either way, guys, I wanted to share this story. Please, if you like this, hit pound that little like button, hit the subscribe button for me, that little notification bell so you can know when my next video drops. All right, guys.